Hello guys, it's Sean with Entertainment Weekly Blaze. So, yeah, this is, it's already like Thursday at like 2 a.m. Starting a bit late this week, but there's the core leaks out there, so we're going to talk about that first. Also, I should say right now, sorry if this week I talk like pause more often. It is allergy season, and I am like somewhat short of breath at the moment. Not like bad, it's just been kind of like my throat's weird. I'm fine, I just might like need pauses a little bit more often, so apologies for that, but anyway. So, well actually I want to expand on that. I usually don't get allergies, but if the weather is just really inconsistent and wild, and everything just kind of blooms at once, then I get them a little bit. That happened this year, so I have them. It's always just my throat though, but yeah. Anyways, so, the core leaks. Oh boy. So we don't know a lot about the other random booster base quite yet. I've already talked about that stuff before, like the recolors and what they'll be. So, I'll wait to talk about the full combos till they're fully out, which hopefully should be tomorrow night, actually. I'm hoping that they do the video for it. And also, I can't hold my camera with my right arm. I have to hold my left arm, so it might look worse than usual. My right shoulder is still a bit injured, so... Yeah, anyway. So, Chain Kirbyus is the main event for today. So it has the 6 armor, just like I thought. It's a right spin Bahamut core. So we now have that, which is great. So Kirbyus will be competitively viable, which is great to say, because when's the last time Kirbyus has been relevant? I mean, probably Kaiser Kirbyus. I know Guardian and Hazard, some people liked them for certain things, but like... The last time was actually an important part was probably with Kaiser Kirbyus, so hey, Kirbyus is back, awesome. So that's nice. Aside from that though, the Chain Blade. Okay, so also it's really uncomfortable to hold this with my left hand. I'm going to try to hold it with my right hand. We'll see how my shoulder holds out. Yeah, my shoulder, So basically I sleep horribly. I sleep in like the worst positions possible, and I actually strained my shoulder from sleeping, which sounds very stupid to say, but yeah, it can happen, and I kind of strained my shoulder decently bad. Not like horribly. I mean, I could move it around. It's just like, man, straining my shoulder in my sleep. Like, come on, that's just stupid sounding. But it happened. Unfortunately, shoulders usually take a little bit longer to heal because they're a lot of different joints and stuff. So like, should be like 3 to 6 weeks till it's fine. As long as I'm not like going crazy with it. Which this isn't going crazy. I'm just holding a camera. It's fine. But like, that is why I have not been playing Switch Sports, because I wanted to play that, but I couldn't, since my arm's a little bit messed up. We're already past the 3-week mark. It's feeling better, kind of, so like I should be good to go hopefully by next week. Anyways, I'm just kind of going all over the place. Chain Kirbyus, let's get back to Chain Kirbyus. Okay, so the Kirbyus core, I like it. Some people complain about it being a right spin Bahamut core because it's a reused gimmick. Who cares? Because here's the thing. It's an effective gimmick that is nice to have, and it was only for left spins. Having it for right spins actually makes sense. However, the Chain Blade is, so I'm not sure. I don't know if it's like exactly like Roar or if it's different. So I don't know if the chain, or if like the blades move out a little bit as it loses spin in low mode, because in high mode they're locked outwards, so it's like exactly like Roar. If it's exactly like Roar in low mode, where it's like progressively moves out to make it more of a round shape, that's stupid. It should not have that gimmick. I know I just said, oh well, it's a fine gimmick to have, you know, the Bahamut core to Kirbyus core, because it's like, oh, they're different spin directions. Shouldn't this apply to with Chain then? Since Roar's like that, you know, left and right? No, because Roar's gimmick isn't that interesting. A blade gimmick being reused is also just a lot more unfortunate. So I'm really hoping that it's not Roar's gimmick. I hope it's like a spring-loaded thing. similar to Guardians or Hazards. Not really Guardian, more so Hazard, where it kind of pushes in a little bit more. Well, I guess it's closer to Guardians in terms of like size, because it's like a smaller part of the blade would push in, but like Hazards, where it's an actual spring and not like a barely moving piece, you know, that kind of sucked. Um, so, yeah. Also, sorry, I got sidetracked for a second. Anyway, I'm fine here. See, my shoulder and like my throat are throwing me off a little bit. Anyway, also probably shouldn't talk that long today, just because like my throat again, it's still kind of messed up. It's feeling better, but I don't want to like wind myself over here. Which sounds it sounds stupid to say because it's like not that big of a deal, but you know, I'm just talking, but still. Anyways, the actual parts for this bay. Also, I might do a whole video where I do like a discussion on the random booster as a whole once the official pictures come out. That might require some editing, or just, you know, like waiting until I can actually talk for more than 10 minutes consistently. But anyway. The full combo has 6, okay, whatever. Has a new disc though, FR. Honestly, was hoping for a new driver, and well, I mean, if they did both a new disc and driver, awesome. But like, I didn't expect that. Between the two, I was kind of hoping for a new driver a little bit more than a new disc, but I also did kind of want a new disc just because of our lack of them. But we are getting a new disc and not a new driver. So I hope the disc is good. I hope it's like decently heavy, maybe comparable to Giga or over. I'm assuming it's going to be like a DV kind of limited type of thing where it's the same shape. If it is, please make sure the metal's decently thick so it's not like a 28 gram disc. That is my only request. Make it at least like 32 grams. Come on. If you want to go to like 33, cool. 30, 34. If you're really feeling generous, you know, hell, 35. I'll take that too. I don't think that'll happen, but I would hope that if they do a DV limited, they make it thick enough to where it has some extra weight to it, so it doesn't suck, and it's not like a Karma weight or something. So yeah, up until this point, I think I'm mostly fine with the bait. I didn't even mention the rest of the chain blade. I am great at this anyway. The chain blade has metal, apparently, on the outsides, and rubber. Chain should actually be a pretty heavy blade. I hope it's good. Has rubber, has some metal on the outside, has a gimmick that will either push in or make it rounder over time. I don't know which. Regardless, I think this should actually be a pretty solid blade. I don't think it'll suck, at least. It should be decent, I would say, at minimum. I think it might actually be pretty good, though. Actually, if it's not the roar thing and it's just like a push-in type of thing, like I hope it is, I hope it's spring-loaded or something. If it pushes in and has rubber and has some metal for weight, the shape looks solid. I mean, that could be a really good defense blade, honestly. Yeah. So chain, if it's at least decent if it has the roar gimmick, but if it does not have the roar gimmick and it has something similar to like a Guardian or Hazard type of thing, amazing. Kirby's core, great. 6 hours, fine enough. New disc, cool. The driver, though, okay. The driver's Yard Dash. Why is it Yard Dash? What happened? What is this? Why did you give Kirby a Yard Dash of all things? You could have chosen... I don't want to say defense or press, because that'd actually be worse, but yeah, maybe. Like, if you were going to do a reuse driver, Atomic, Orbit, Keep, Universe, any of these 4, in my opinion, would work better. Keep has the whole rubber thing, kind of like, you know, the blade. You could have kind of had a rubber thing going on there. Orbit or Atomic, well, Hazard had Atomic, so I feel like, honestly, if you're going to reuse any of the old Kirby's drivers, Atomic's the best one, even though I know it's less iconic for Kirby's, but it's just a better driver. Could go with Orbit, similar to Atomic, kind of. I mean, Orbit would have made sense. It's also similar to Yard. I don't know why they wouldn't have gone with Orbit. Again, just a better driver. And Universe, kind of reminds me of Defense in some ways, where it's like a ball and like this weird like ring thing up there, except it's like all free spin and a lot bigger. It's close enough. Obviously they should have been like Dash or something, but they did Yard Dash, and I'm like, okay. If they could fix the mold a little bit to make it not scrape, and the ball maybe is a little bit bigger, or it kind of goes down a little further, so it spins on the ball more and doesn't scrape on the like the LED part. Okay, then we're actually okay, but I'm assuming that they're not going to fix the mold, so assuming that they don't do that. Yard Dash is a bit disappointing, I'm just saying. I'm not the happiest about Yard Dash, but whatever. It's a new Kirbyus. I'm not going to get too bent out of shape about it. They didn't give it Revolve, so that's a plus. They at least gave it a new dash driver. That's something. It's getting a new part. You know, the disc is new. Awesome. I mean, we have not gotten a new Kirbyus part since Kaiser Kirbyus, not counting the layer stuff, so that's always a nice thing to have. And yeah, it looks like they're actually putting some effort into this layer. You know, they have the metal, they have the rubber, you know, they have some other gimmick, which shifts to be completely just outward in high mode. It looks like they actually put some effort into this bay. They might be borrowing a little bit from Bahamut here, but hey, you know what, that's fine. As long as it doesn't have the exact gimmick as Roar, we're okay. If it does, then like, okay, this is like worse Roar, I'm gonna be honest, but hopefully they don't do that. That'd actually be pretty upsetting, I'm not gonna lie. Oh yeah, also, I was gonna stop there because that was everything I had for Kirbyus, but Gatling Dragon, we saw an image of that looks like Tempest with a little bit more of an Imperial dash thrown, not Imperial dash, what am I don't know why I said dash, Imperial kind of design elements thrown into the mix. To me, it looks just like it looks like Tempest, except in DB, and also actually like a little bit better. I'm all for it. I hope that they do show these in, you know, full... I don't know, I'm going with this. Just like the full video where they usually go over new bays. I hope that they show these off, because I really, really want to see the whole random booster. I want to make a video on that. That'd be cool. So yeah, I'm really excited about these. Also, I'm kind of reaching my limit in terms of how much I can talk right now. Unfortunately, because I can't quite breathe properly at the moment. But we're all good. I'll be back at some point. Maybe tomorrow night, because, you know, it'll be... If they do the Takratomi video, where they show Kirbyus and the random booster, I also want to make a video, like I said. Another discussion video. Maybe I'll do discussions for all of them. Maybe I'll throw up some pictures on screen. Just for fun. Because why not? Anyways, that said, Kirbyus news, overall good. Driver, slightly disappointing, but I'm not going to complain about it because it's at least a new Kirbyus. So, I mean, you can't complain too much, you know, it's a new Kirbyus at the very least. And, yeah, I'm very curious what they're going to use for their armors, because, like, they've literally reprinted these same armors, like, so many times. Are they going to do another, like, are we going to get, like, 2, 10, like, 0, and, 7 again? Like, is it going to be, like, the same exact types of, or maybe not 7, maybe, like, 3. It's going to be, like, the same armors. We need more new armors, man. I really hope that the new dragon comes with a new armor. We need a new armor. Actually, I need to go back and look at the pictures. Maybe it does have a new armor and I just didn't notice. I don't know, we'll see. Hopefully I could talk more tomorrow when the video drops, unless it'll be next week then. That's kind of an L. But hopefully it's tomorrow and I can come back and talk more and make the other video, and that'll be great. So, I'll see you guys later. Hopefully next time I record, my voice can actually function for more than 15 minutes, because we didn't even make it to 15 minutes. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Alright, I'm back. It's now technically Sunday, actually. It's let's see, what time is it here? Like 2 a.m. almost? Yeah. Last clip for today. Hopefully I can record for like 15-20 minutes. I am feeling a little bit better today. My throat, I think I'm mostly fine now. I can breathe pretty normally. I feel I'm like 90%. So still like slightly off, but I should be not stopping every like 30 seconds to just like take a deep breath. Hopefully I'm fine. But yeah, Beyblade news. So last time I was here, I think I was talking about, like, the Kirbyus leaks and the Dragon leaks, but, they both got fully confirmed. And we know everything now. Which is crazy. I want to make a whole video on that, as well as a second video for a theory I have. But I want to wait till I'm 100% fine and my throat's fine. I'm thinking maybe by tomorrow, if not definitely Monday. Even if I'm not fine by Monday, I'm not waiting longer to... I'm already so lit on the news anyway, so, like, yeah. Though it's not going to be like a news video per se, it's more of a discussion. That's kind of how I'm going to save myself here. It's basically just going to be me talking about the bays and kind of my thoughts on them, just for fun. And then I also have a theory video, which I'll talk about here a little bit as well. So the discussion video, I'll cover the Dragon and Kirbyus stuff. So Kirbyus... So of the 4 bays in the random booster that are not prizes, apparently the Cyclone Valkyrie 2 is going to get High Eternal. That's interesting. Might actually be pretty good. Trigger V2 is interesting, so it'll get Wedge Dash, which is kind of just funny. But the layer apparently will have removable support pieces. Kind of wish we saw something like that for Dragoon, Dragoon V2 and Geronzer V2, but whatever. I think these support parts are like, they have to be removable or else it literally doesn't work as a layer, so I mean, yeah, makes sense. And there's Chain Kirbyus, the full combo is of course Chain Kirbyus, okay, never mind. I was about to say Friction, sorry. Wrong FR, abbreviation. Chain Kirbyus, Fortress, Yard Dash 6. 6, okay, we knew that. So the Kirbyus chip is apparently, the Kirbyus core rather, it's right behind it, we knew that as well. Chain's interesting, so there's 6 rubber chains and 2 metal chains. The rubber chains can be moved around, they kind of move inward, they hit and move back out from the force, you know, it's fine. I think that's a perfectly good gimmick for Kirby's. However, in high mode, this gimmick depends on the armor. Certain armor pieces will actually push the chains outwards, the rubber ones, and 6 will push all of them out, so that's kind of why it comes with 6, probably. High mode is literally tacked. High mode is just tacked, so that's actually really cool. Fortress seems to be a pretty good shape. We don't know the weight yet. The weight is going to be a pretty big factor, I think. It needs to be at least 30 grams to be top tier. If not, it's still going to be very much used since our DP disc selection's pretty lacking. Like, I think it'll take the place of like a Legacy or Karma or something for sure, you know, and I don't really think that's much of a problem. Might be better than Taper as well. That'd be nice. So yeah, that's something. Also, Yard Dash, it's not the worst Kirbyus driver we could have got. Not the best either. I'm relatively neutral on it, honestly. I don't think it's, like, amazing, but I don't think it's that bad. I think people were overreacting to Yard Dash a little bit, honestly. It's not that bad. Now for Dragon. Dragon's full combo. Oh boy. Gatling Dragon, Karma Charge Metal Dash 10. What happened here? So we have the Dragon core, which is apparently a bound core. I'm assuming it'll be a little bit more resistant than Valkyrie 1, so it'll probably be pretty good. Dragon has the same kind of bound thing as Tempest, or, well, Gatling does, I should say. But instead of 4 individual pieces, it's only 2, however they are much larger, so that should work fine. Seems to have more of an oval shape as well, which is interesting. That might actually be decent for attack. I'm not sure yet. But regardless, I'm pretty sure light launching it will be the main way to use it. It's going to be Tempest 2.0, basically, just DB Tempest, that's all you need to know. Also, Charge Metal Dash. Charge Metal was a pretty bad driver. Partly because it's just not the best, also the burst resistance really sucked. This solves one of the issues, however it's probably just going to be very mediocre because it's just very inconsistent. Sometimes it kind of works as like an actual, like a unit of an attack driver, which is nice. Other times it just kind of sits in the center of the stadium and falls over. Honestly, that's just how Charge Metal is, but yeah. I'm not too upset about that though, I kind of expected Charge Metal, but 10 and Karma. Why? I can get past 10, you know, 10, whatever. That's fine. Why Karma? Why was there not a new disc? And if you didn't want to make a new disc, at least you could have at least made a new armor. What is this? It looks like a cool bay, but I just think it really needed at least one other new part, and it just didn't actually get another new part. I guess there's D gear. Uh, Honestly, I think S gear is going to be better. Unless D gear's heavier, then maybe it'll be an extra option for like a stamina defense combo. But other than that, I don't think it's that great looking. Honestly, I don't think it's going to be heavier either. I think it's just going to suck, and that's going to be how D gear is. That's my assumption anyway. All right. That is everything for the new stuff. However, we still have some unconfirmed stuff, so we know, Excalibur for July, Achilles for August. However, September, new leak. Apparently the same leaker who has been leaking all of BU so far. So probably correct. Random Booster Volume 30 is going to be a Night Evolution. When I heard that there was going to be a Night Evolution, I was like, really? A Night Evolution? Why a Night Evolution? That's so random. That's very strange to me. When I thought about it, I'm like, wait a minute. There's two things here. Knight's stamina type. We need more stamina types since we barely have any DB ones, And unless they want to start going back for other stuff, like Zeus is still another one that makes sense, and I think we probably will get Zeus. I think Knight makes sense, but also, see, Knight was a part of the Beyblade election from 2020. This Beyblade election had 18 bays, the 15 legends that we knew about since the start of Sparking, as well as 3 oddballs, Kirbyus, Knight, and Kronos. They chose Knight, and that's honestly a very interesting choice to me. This is where we get into my Beyblade election theory. That is a thing that I am predicting now. I think they're releasing every election bay, plus the 3 important bays from Sparking. I think that's BU. I think that's what BU is going to be. I'm assuming that we're probably going to get our big set in October. I originally said November. I'm going to change that and say October. I think our October set will literally just be Hyperion, Helios, and Lucifer. I think it's pretty obvious that we'll probably get Hyperion and Helios. However, I think it'd be weird to leave out Lucifer since I think we're going to end up with every villain bay as well. At least the main ones. And I think, Lucifer kind of falls into that category and is very important. So I think we'll get Lucifer. Also, come on, they like to, especially recently, like they re-released Solomon in its own bay. They gave Perseus its own bay. We don't have a new bay like that, but we have Metal Bearing Drift. I think that they have to kind of release Metal Bearing Drift at some point to make it more accessible. Why not release it on an evolution of the bay that came with the original Drift, Lucifer the End? So a new Lucifer, Metal Bearing Drift release, throw that in the set. You don't have to make a new armor or disc for it, just throw that on, people will be happy, trust me. In this set, honestly, I could see them not making anything really new aside from the cores and blades, maybe driver upgrades, and then if we're lucky, maybe Hyperion gets a new disc, Helios gets a new armor or something. That's pushing it, but whatever, I don't care, I'm just trying to make up a set here. I think a sort of SP set, like we got last year, with the 3 Sparking bays, honestly, that makes a great trio, and I think that would be a very smart move by Takara Tomy. I'm thinking November will be Wyvern for a booster, and then early December we will see a December booster with Death Scyther. Wyvern and Death Scyther always release around the same time. So I think Wyvern would be first, because December boosters are usually like a bigger deal. And in case you don't know from the Beyblade election, so Valkyrie got first, and it got 2 DV evolutions. Excalibur got second, and it's getting the big starter position for BU. Death Scyther's in third. I feel like it would make a lot of sense to be our December release then. Wyvern and Death Scyther I think are definitely going to get BU evolutions. It just makes sense. And so basically I'm just like, okay, we'll probably see these 2. I think they'll be next to each other, and I think Death Scyther has to be our December release. Based on the election results, so I'm going to go with that. Wyvern releases right before it. December random booster. I think this will release later in the month. Also, I don't think we're getting any filler for BU, because here's the thing. There's no anime anymore. This is the end of Burst. What is there to fill? There's nothing left. I think that's why they extended the filler so long for DB, because they knew it's basically filler for both DB and BU, really. Like, yeah, I don't know. I think that's just kind of how it is. I think that's why we got so much filler, because that's the end of filler. At least I hope. I hope I'm right on this. But anyway, late December random booster. Kronos. Why Kronos? Alright, so of the, the 18 base from the election, 15 legends, 3 oddballs, which I already said before, Kirbyus, Knight, Kronos. Kirbyus was our first prize bay. Knight seems to be our second prize bay. Obviously, our third prize bay has to be Kronos by that logic, and I'm just saying, I think that's how it's going to go. They could just throw it in there. There's a new Kronos. So, I think, also, yeah, my breathing, and by the way, I'm still a little bit off, so sorry about that, but like I said, I'm like 90%, I'm getting there. Anyway, so Kronos, I think we're going to get Kronos Evolution for the December random booster. This leaves 4 bays to go. This is where I think I could be wrong in terms of positions. I think we'll still get all 4 of them. I just don't know exactly how they'll do it. But I'll just say January Zeus, February Satan, March Diablos. I think this makes the most sense, personally, but they could be mixed up. Zeus, obviously another stamina type. It's important. It's an important legend bay. Come on, I mean, they got to do a Zeus here. It's also another stamina type, which there is a severe lack of, so it would make a lot of sense. Satan, okay, I don't really have any good reason to make a new Satan, but like, come on, if you're making every other election day, just throw in Satan. Diablos. Everyone wants a Diablos redemption. Death and Abyss sucked. Everyone wants to see a better Diablos that is more like Master, kind of carries its, original gimmicks better. Diablos is still a very popular bait, just that no one likes Death and Abyss. Everyone likes, like, Venom / Erase was cool, and Master is a very well-liked bait. Everyone likes Diablos. It's just no one liked Death and Abyss because they sucked. I think giving us a Diablos redemption for our second to last bay would be really cool. Final bay Genesis. Another antagonist bay. And, just important, honestly. I think it's an important bay to release. Since at this point we've used up all of our super popular motifs, how do you end the series? Oh right, why not end it on a bay that has absolutely insane gimmicks? So, Genesis, like, why not, Genesis just has these crazy gimmicks. I feel like this would be a perfect end to Burst, so that's why I chose Genesis to be the final bay. There you have it. That's my whole lineup of what I think is going to happen. Again, placements may vary, but I do think, after night we will get these 10. It's a little bit much because I obviously go to April. I still think getting 2 releases in December will happen. It's always been a booster and a random booster. I guess technically not in Sparking, but Lucifer the End was end of November after the set from earlier in November. So it was still like the same amount. It was just kind of like they put it a little bit early. And then Ultimate Valkyrie was earlier December. The random booster was later. I still think we'll get the 2 December releases in that case. And then, the only other, stretch is obviously having 3 bays in a set. Unless if the August set is 2 bays, unless it's an actual triple booster set and they give us 2 bays in it, that'd be a big surprise. But then maybe this entirely changes and I'm completely wrong. Maybe they do, if they want to rework it, maybe they throw a Zeus in there or something. Actually, maybe not Zeus, maybe Satan. Let's just say Satan. We'll say Satan and Achilles, okay? So you throw them in there. Well, alright, that kind of throws off my plan. So you have Night in September. October, I would actually then put probably someone else earlier. I'd probably say October, I'd actually go with Lucifer, honestly. Unless if the set is first and still October. I think it'd be a customized set if it's, like that, or a stadium set. Not a, triple, not a 3-pack or anything, like an old customized set. If that happens, and I'm not going to cover this in my actual theory video, that's going to be just going all in on my original one. This is just extra speculation for no reason. In that case, I'd probably say the set would come out in October still. It'd be Hyperion Helios November booster. I would say Lucifer, and then December, I'd actually say the random booster first, and then the booster would come out later. I'd say the random booster still Kronos, booster would be Death Scyther. January would be Wyvern, and then February, I'd say Zeus, and I'd still say March, Diablos, and April would be Genesis. I think that's actually pretty realistic as well. Honestly, both ways, I just think we're not getting an actual triple booster set for August. I think it'll just be like an Astral Spring customized set type thing, except for whatever the blade's called in Achilles. Yeah, honestly, it's fun to just make up like theories to what's gonna happen. Or this doesn't happen at all, and it's like, oh, by the way, we're getting like just ends burst. Like, imagine this, September random booster 30, end of burst, we're done. See ya. Or more realistically, probably something like, okay, here's the October set. It's a stadium set. It's gonna be Hyperion and Helios, and then November booster's Wyvern. December booster is going to be Death Scyther, and then it's just another filler random booster in December, and then January will be nothing. February is a final filler random booster. Okay, that's the end of burst. See ya. If Takatomi does that, I will be actually very mad if they do filler at the end. Like, come on, there's nothing to fill. Just give us just give us the good evolutions. Just throw them out there and be done. I'm not very confident on having unique gimmicks or crazy parts, but you know what? That's fine. That is fine. Just give us the motifs, honestly. It's the end of burst, so I'm like, I'll be a little bit more lenient on the other stuff. Just give us the motifs, just so they at least exist within the format, I think. That's kind of all I want, honestly. I'm not very confident on anything else, but as long as they give us these motifs, it'd be cool. Also, I must say, a Knight evolution is going to be massive. How big is the blade going to be for Knight? I'm slightly concerned about this. My case is already at like max capacity, man. Perfect Dangerous just destroyed the cases, my whole system in there. It started with a limit break phase, and it just keeps getting worse. So yeah, I'm not sure how big that thing's gonna be. That's gonna be hilarious looking. But yeah, that is everything I think for the predictions and whatnot. That's like every interesting thing I have. I don't think I really have anything else interesting to say in this video. I think it's kind of just that. I don't know, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Obviously, we're still talking about September stuff. That's very far away. Like, come on. It's still like 4 months out. First up, we gotta see, Kirbyus and Dragon get released. We gotta check out, Excalibur and Achilles too. And then we get to Knight finally. I don't know, maybe we'll start seeing some pictures of it in August or something. That'd be nice. But yeah. We'll have to wait and see. Aside from that, I don't think I've been doing like anything. It's been like, oh wow, Beyblade, I was kind of doing some stuff with like Minecraft, but like, nothing to talk about really, but like, I was just, having some fun with that, and then all of a sudden, Beyblade Burst of BU News hits, and I just completely shift to just, that's my main focus, Anytime Beyblade news comes up, I tend to just focus on that. Same thing happened in March, we got the announcement of BU, and I'm like, okay, anything I was doing is getting set aside. This is the most important thing right now, So, I'm very excited about BU, honestly. I'm very interested. I'm kind of nervous because I feel like we're not going to get as many new parts as we should, and also the gimmicks might be kind of reused a lot. Maybe. But, I don't know. I just want to see what kind of motifs we get. I really hope we get those extra 10. I know it's kind of a lot to ask, and we'd end up with 28 DB bays, but, that'd be cool. Honestly, make the last system the biggest. Might as well. Although it's a little bit imbalanced because we only had 12 DB bays, that'd be 16 more in BU. It's kind of a lot, but like, why not? Just end with a bang, honestly. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. Just end the series with a bang. I think that's what everyone wants. Will Takatomi carry? Will they follow through on this? I have no clue, but I'm hoping that they do. And yeah, that's pretty much everything I have to say for this video. I think we're at the half-hour mark, hopefully, anyway. If not, damn. I'm not gonna forcibly make this longer, though. That's all I could say. So yeah, that's all for this video, so thanks for watching, and bye-bye.